Since Big Truck Series Review is probably one of the most awesome employers that there is, I'm going to show you a walkthrough of this new set of laptops that we got in order to make my workers more efficient. So these are Hewlett Packard laptops, and basically when you order in bulk you get them on sale and you get discounts, especially if you're a business tax ID. And I'm going to show you a nice simple setup of these computers, and then eventually I'm going to make a video about Windows 10 because all of these 8.1s can be upgraded to Windows 10 as of today, July 30th. Okay, so basically I'm going to be setting these up 2 at a time. And as you know, I make these videos just to give everybody a good look at the equipment and obviously to make more money on YouTube. Since every now and then there are people who come to me on YouTube asking me what's a good model computer to get. And basically, one thing before I get started, these computers are actually more of a performance model than those other cheaper computers that I got from Walmart. And the thing about it is, if you're getting a computer from Walmart, please make sure that you get a Core i5 or a Core i7, since you're going to be getting Windows 10 anyway. And the reason why I say that is, you need to have a powerful processor instead of those cheap Celerons. Do not get the AMD processor unless you're getting a higher end one, because if you get the budget computers, what you're going to end up with is something that doesn't function as well as you thought it would function. So first of all, let's take a look at this model. As you can see, it has a matte, soft matte cover. Please never mind my hands, because my hands have been getting dirty in the storage, because I have a lot of these computers. As you can see, I have like 8 of these damn things to set up, and my workers are gonna love these because these are definitely faster than those Walmarts I bought before. So as you can see, matte finish, typical Hewlett Packard construction. It feels good all the way around. You get 2 USB ports on one side, you get a headphone jack here, the DVDRW writer drive. Then you go around to the opposite side. As you can see, there's the typical HDMI, Ethernet, VGA, and then you get 2 more USB super speed ports. The beautiful thing about those is if you plug in an iPhone, the wattage is higher, so that means you can charge your phone faster. You know, like, or if you plug in an iPad, you can charge it faster. It has more than 2.1 amps. So as you can see, this is your Hewlett Packard webcam. As you can see, these are not cheap. These are the Core i5 models. This is a ProBook, anodized aluminum, soft touchpad. That Mac that I just got, that I made a video about a couple of days ago, that Mac had a Force Touch keyboard. No, not a keyboard, a Force Touch keypad. And that's so that you have similar functions as you'd have with my iWatch or my Apple Watch. They should have just called it iWatch, but some Chinese company probably took it. And if you force touch the screen and push down on it, it gives you more functions than normal. So this is the computer. Hewlett Packard has definitely improved their build quality. And as you can see, there's easy access on the bottom to the memory card slots and to the hard drive. Very simple access. They've made these things a lot cheaper in build quality, but as they've made them cheaper, they've also gotten slightly more stylish. So as you can see, it came with Windows 8, and as you know, Windows 10 offers you a free upgrade. When I get around to talking about Windows 10, I'm going to explain to you about the new features, specifically the ability to play Windows 10 games using your Xbox for crossplay, or to play Xbox games on the crossplay towards your Windows PC monitor. Now that Microsoft has finally gotten its stuff together, and they have decided to make it so that you can mirror play games on either your Xbox or your computer. And as many of you also know, Windows has made it so that Microsoft's Xbox has keyboard and mouse support, so that this way you can use it more like a computer, which should have been done on the Xbox 360. But for whatever reason, Microsoft likes to play games while, you know, Sony's kicking their ass. So let's get to this computer. Cell V104 notebook battery. People who go traveling and take laptops with them sometimes purchase extra batteries. So if you wanted to, you could go on eBay and you could look for the V104 notebook battery. Now, since lithium-ion batteries are never fully discharged, there should be enough power to simply plug this in and start the computer right up. You don't ever fully discharge a lithium-ion battery because it'll start to lose its charge over time. So let's just put that in there. Put that in there. I'm trying to work with one hand, so let's just put that in there. All right. Got this one all plugged up right here. Get it nice and open. Push that as the power button. While this one is booting up, I will put together this one right over here. So I got another brand new one, another V104 battery. And all I gotta do is do the same process 6 more times. So, yet another beautiful HP laptop with the Core i5. I'm doing this, I would just like to thank YouTube again for giving me the opportunity to share my purchases of computer technology with the world. So as you can see now, we're booting up 2 brand new Core i5s. And a word of advice, if you have the option of paying enough money to get yourself a secure digital drive, I recommend you get the SSD drive instead of a regular hard drive. After using the MacBook Pro, I have to say that it's so fast and so speedy and so snappy with almost no hard drive searching whatsoever, simply because of that flash memory design. I have to say, if you can get an SSD drive, you're better off getting an SSD drive. Samsung makes pretty good SSD drives, and there are a couple of other companies that make good SSD drives, but I really recommend that you get an SSD drive. Now, if you're one of those people who doesn't have to carry a lot of data with you, like if 200 gigabytes is more than enough for you, get yourself a 200 gigabyte SSD drive. Also, you should do like what I did, and you should get yourself a MyCloud Mirror Western Digital server for your home or for your business. So this way you can keep older documents that you don't necessarily need to keep on your computer on the server, and you'll always have access to them. If you travel like I do to Dubai and other parts around the country, and you have a server like that, you can easily have access to your server from wherever you are in the world. And if you're using basic text and basic music or basic documents, a MyCloud Mirror server is the perfect addition to your computer system at home or at your business. If you have a small business and you have an LLC like I do, that's what I recommend you do. So if you have any specific questions about that, I've made a couple of other videos about Western Digital devices and whatever, so all you gotta do is just ask me the question directly and be as detailed as possible, and I'll definitely answer it for you. I've got no problem. You who've already used Windows 8 or Windows 10, you already know the deal. First of all, you have to accept all of these stupid liability statements claiming that you promise not to hack their software, you promise not to rip off their software and sell it for personal gain. So basically, this whole thing, your full name, your email, Wi-Fi settings, the setup goes really quickly. It takes you about 5 minutes to get the setup done, and then as soon as you're done with that, your Wi-Fi initializes, and within a couple more minutes you're ready to start rolling. So you're supposed to personalize it after you start putting in basic information. When you start personalizing it, you can choose a color. I like to usually use the OEM color, so if they want it to be dark blue, I just leave it as dark blue. I really don't bother with it. So as for PC names, I'm gonna name them. You probably can't see that. Yeah, it says living room PC. I'm gonna name them in order. I'm gonna name this one 1, I'm gonna name this one workstation 2, and so forth and so on for the next 8 computers that I have to set up. Just configuring your Wi-Fi settings, all you do is push use express settings unless you have something special that you wanna set up, like a proxy or whatever. Then it asks you sign into your Microsoft account, and you have to sign into your Microsoft account. And from there on, it'll move on. It says, do you have an account or create an account? So I'm just gonna sign that up on both computers. So now that I've entered in the major setup information, this computer is currently prepping itself and setting itself up. Right now it's installing the apps and everything from the cloud. On a side note, my desktop has a EVGA GTX 980 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. But I've noticed that they have this new EVGA, what is it called? The Titan X, and that has 12 gigabytes of RAM. Now I know that I don't need probably anything more than 4 gigabytes of RAM for video games. But the thing about it is, because I have these technology budgets that I have to spend, I think I just might get that Titan X and take out the 980 and probably put that in an older computer. But right now, I like to keep the Core i7 with the 32 gigabytes of RAM as powerful as possible. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. It finally finished. So as you can see, you have, before you even go to Windows 10, as you can see, you have the start button right there. See that? Got the start button. And if you go back to the active desktop, you can right click on the start button, and as you can, that's what I'm doing right here. Everything feels really good. I like this computer. It has a really good build quality. As you can see, I'm looking for the My Computer button. I'm so used to doing it the old way. See, that's the problem. When you start changing the user interface around, what you do is you create problems for people. So as you can see, this computer has 451 gigabytes free. And as you can see, it has recovery images that take up a couple of gigabytes in and of themselves. So basically, this is a 500 gigabyte hard drive, but you don't have access to the entire 500 gigabytes. So as you can see where it says computer, you can see the specs. You see where it says system properties. This is a Windows 8 running Intel Core i5 5200 CPU with 2.20 gigahertz, 4 gigabytes of RAM that allows you to use 3.89. And as you can see, it doesn't have a pen or touch input and whatnot. And what else? Other than that, that's really basically it. I mean, there's no video card installed in this. It's a computer. So it's very basic information, a 64 gigabyte operating system. Right now, there's no apps in it. And all it's waiting for is to be used with clients and customers. That's all. So good looking computer. You know, I could check out the internet, see how fast that flows. But I haven't put Google Chrome on it yet, obviously. But so far, so good, nice and smooth. And that's all you can hope for. Let's see what's happening in the news. They just indicted a cop for a shooting in Cincinnati. There's a new police shooting every single week, pretty much. He pled not guilty because he's basically going to try to claim that the guy tried to drive away and that, you know, a car is a weapon and everything. Jimmy Hoffa, we're still talking about Jimmy Hoffa. A girl hung up on 9/11 worker, or she was hung up on by a 911 worker. And a man decided that he was gonna shoot down a drone in his backyard. So apparently he probably used a shotgun or something. And he says, "Not in my backyard." And he shot that drone down. So it says several add-ons ready for use. I hate doing all that stuff. I'll have to check that out later. I don't feel like doing it. So what else? Man freed after being wrongfully imprisoned for 17 years is fatally shot. Wow, this must be a shitty fucking week for him. Tim Tebow's finished. Yeah, but this is what you expect. So the first question that some of you are probably going to ask, and I hate this question, is can you play Minecraft on this computer? This is a Core i7 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Minecraft runs on a goddamn cell phone. Yes, you can play your little ADHD Minecraft on the ProBook Hewlett Packard. Yes, you can, okay? So please don't ask that question. I hate getting that question. I make a video of a Core i7, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a 4 gigabyte video card, and the first thing somebody wants to ask me is, can you play Minecraft on it? Minecraft requires almost as much computer technology to run as playing solitaire. And you guys you want to play Minecraft. You guys are chasing each other around with pickaxes and bashing bricks. Meanwhile, I'm over here running a business. I can't believe that I gotta answer questions about Minecraft on my video. So anyway, for right now, that's this video. This ProBook is a fantastic computer. And I'll probably make another video about Windows 10 to just just talk about how I like Windows 10, because right now Windows 10's already been reviewed and all that, but I'm just going to tell you how I feel about Windows 10 after I download it. And right here in this corner, some of you who already have Windows 8 and 8.1 already know that the Windows 10 downloader appears right here when the computer seeks updates, and all you got to do is click it and it reserves itself so that it can be downloaded, and once it downloads itself, then you have full access to Windows 10. The only thing about it is some people are very upset because Windows 10 right now has downloadable content to the point where you have to pay to play solitaire and basic card games, which you never had to do with Windows 95, 98, XP, Vista, etc., etc. So I'm going to talk about that in my little Windows 10 review. So, you know, just stay tuned to the Big Truck Series review show. Now that I configured 2, now I just got to configure the next 2 and then the last 2, and then I'm all done. Configuring this next 2, let me show you this Lenovo S10e. The Lenovo S10e is a smaller netbook laptop that I had bought for business a while back, and my problem with it was a little too slow. It was good for an internet browser, but it was a little too slow to use for business purposes. I was buying these things off of eBay for almost $60 to $75 new each, because these still run Windows XP and they have a low-end processor, the Intel Atom. So these are basically old model computers, but they've held up long enough for what I needed them to do until I purchased these new models. So I'm going to continue setting these up, and then I'm going to get to my Windows 10 review. Instead of running a business by hiring a person to do my tech for me, my cheap ass would rather save the money and invest it all into myself. Yes, I am a job creator, but the thing about it is, if you're going to make it difficult to create jobs by raising taxes and causing me to pay people's healthcare and everything, well, I'm just going to have to employ fewer people and use that money to buy more equipment.